Sean pointed out Cinnarope was up and about, so figured I'd show you guys. We have a thirsty little Snek. Oh, yeah. Cinnarope was drinking.
And then Mike.
Sean, stop moving around so much you might bother her. Let her drink. Figured you guys would find that neat. Give a little update on Cinnarope.
And you know what my cat's doing?
Oh, it's really hard to keep this thing steady. There's our beautiful girl, Cinnarope, and you can tell she's really plump right now because yesterday, oh, you can't even see her tail, still in the hide. Yesterday, hang on, let me show you. While I was handling one of the rats, one of the 4 food rats, or breeders for food, hang on, let me unzoom. Scooch back, Sean. I was handling one of the 4 food rats, and it's one of the males. And I've been introducing him to the pet rats because he was being altogether pretty sweet, and he was a really cool fancy rat. So I was like, well, I want him to his genes or his coloration and everything else to kind of breed in with our pet rats, so we can get some really cool pet rats. And anyway, he jumped off my shoulder and onto the piano, and so I quickly snatched him up, and it must have surprised him so good. I don't know if you can't really see it, but because of how blurry it looks, at least to me. Anyway, he bit, the whole finger is purple right now. At least this whole area right here is dark and purple. Yeah, you see that? And Sean, this is your first time seeing that, isn't it? That rat bit me all the way down to my bone, and it bit straight through this part of my finger, and this part. That rat bit me really, really hard. It hurt. So, Daddy,
I'll show my cat to people.
Okay. No, move the cat. You're stepping on Daddy's foot pretty hard. Anyway, so Daddy got real upset with the rat, and before I even knew what I did, Daddy hollered because it bit me right down to the bone, and Daddy squished the rat. So, the rat was not in good shape after that. And that was a bad reaction, honestly, because it bit me right down to my bone, and I went, ah! And I kind of did that sort of deal. That's such a horrible thing to admit on camera. That's such a beautiful long snake. Anyway, point is, the rat was stunned and confused and twitchy, so I might have ended up crushing the rat bad enough that the rat was going to die. So it was about time. It was actually a day and a half early to feed Cinna. But it was about that time, and since Daddy accidentally reacted so harshly to the rat and it was hurting and in pain, I went ahead and offered him as food, and Cinnarope was quick to oblige. So she got a meal a day and a half early, and now she's all thirsty because she's metabolizing that big old rat. Man, she's still drinking. I'm going to have to put some more water in there, too. She's a thirsty Snek.
He's a big thirsty Snek.
A thirsty Snek.
A big thirsty.
So thirsty. Some yummy, yummy water. That's Healing Springs water, too. And like I said before, we give pretty much all our animals water from the Healing Springs. It's the best water ever. Oh, I think she's about done now. Or she's leaning up so that way it can go down her throat more easily. You done, Cinnarope?
No. I think he's going to drink.
Maybe not. Maybe she's going for some more. Maybe she's just kind of checking things out.
No, he's hungry.
She's flicking her tongue a bunch and kind of smelling the surroundings, but I highly doubt she's hungry because she ate that big old rat yesterday. And he was pretty good size for her. She's used to eating smalls and mediums, and he was still medium, but at that point between kind of medium and sort of large. Not a large rat by a long shot, definitely not at all one of our largest rats at all, but, well, this is one of my own personal philosophies. The bitey rats tend to volunteer to be food sooner, and I wasn't mean to him, but I snatched him up kind of quick because I was afraid he was going to run since he was a timid one. When he jumped off my shoulder, I was sitting over here at our chair, and of course I'm facing the computer that's over that away. So he runs up to my shoulder, and I had 6 rats on me at the time because Mommy was cleaning the rat cages. They needed it really bad. It had gone like 3 days, and you got to clean that like every day. Anyway, so he jumps up. Stop, Sean. So he jumps off the back of my shoulder and onto the piano, and he starts to run. So I quickly grab him, and I guess it startled him enough that if you do it again, I'm spanking you. I should not have to tell you something 3 times. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the
Yes,
back.
what?
Yes, sir.
That's right. Anyway, so I guess I startled him enough that as soon as I grabbed him and kind of I'm pulling him over to, you know, like straighten him back up, because at this point I'm turned around in the chair, and the other 5 rats are pet quality rats, is what I call them anyway. Are pet baby rats that are real sweet. Stop kicking Daddy. I'm about to send you to your room. You're being really annoying right now. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
We just went and had lots of fun and picked up all those roly-polies. Now you're kicking Daddy and hitting Daddy and shoving the toy in Daddy's face and in the camera, and Daddy's trying to record Cinnarope and tell a little story, and you're just being really, really annoying and really interrupting. Do you understand me? Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry about that. I'm probably going to be too lazy to edit all that out, so you're hearing Hubster be Daddy here. Anyway, I had 5 what I consider pet quality rats literally just on my chest, and they're chilling and loving on each other and cleaning themselves and sniffing me and looking around and exploring, kind of running back and forth and having fun. And I'm tickling them a little bit because they're really sensitive on the tops. So I go tiki tiki tiki, and I tickle them, and anyway, so they bounce a little bit, you know, playfully. And that one rat, like I said, he came from the breeders that were breeding for food. And we've got some rats in there that we've gotten from people that are specifically, you know, pet rats. Like there's one of them right there, and she's, you know, bouncing around or whatever. And then we got these rats that tend to stay in there mostly. And let's see if I can move the camera around right. Oh nope, that's one of the pet rats in there. And they're very timid, and all they've ever known their entire life is a rat rack. And they're specifically bred for food, so we got some of those in there. And we got lots of pet rats, and we did quarantining, we did all this right, so we made sure they're all healthy. But anyway, so he was one of the ones that were actually bred for food, and all he ever knew was a rack, and he was really timid. But oh, I hear some of them running around playing now, but I don't see where they're doing it. I think they're up there playing.
I can see
Here.
them.
Oh wait, no, there they are. They're in there playing right now. Anyway, point is, oh yep, sure, yep, you see that? That's them playing.
I think they're saying blah 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 blah.
They're pinning each other.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's awesome.
I think
Got to catch a little bit of rat play.
I think they are saying
They're playing inside the box. Oop. And see, that's one of the pet rats. And actually, oh, that's one of the pet rats too. Actually, that's Rosemary or Garlic. I can't tell until she comes out far enough. That is. Oh, I still couldn't tell. Garlic has a slightly tan. Oh, that was Garlic. You see the tan hide? She got a little tan cloak. And Rosemary is just that really light kind of tannish color all over. She's like one color. Hang on, Sean. Anyway, I totally lost track of where I was going with that. I think I was saying, oop, there they go playing again. That is Garlic, definitely.
Hey, Daddy, I think the rats are saying da 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 plop 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 plop.
Okay.
Plop, plop.
Well, that's an awkward thing for them to say. Anyway, point is, I am a firm believer that the sweeter rats will as we breed them, will become pet rats. The bitey rats will be the ones that are volunteered as food first. So.
I'm here.
Yep.
And then my kitty cat's here. Woo woo. He's just saying a little
So anyway, that's our little update. I wanted to show off the super toasty snake Cinnarope and show how they drink, in case anyone cared about that. Tell the story about Daddy's big old boo-boo, and I guess explain the big old lump in Cinnarope because she got a big old meal out of it. Anyway, she's so cool. She's got such a good attitude, and she's not timid, even though you can pet her head. And I mean, she's just got shush. Daddy's talking. She's just got such a good attitude that you know I don't think we could rehome her. My wife, I know she's kind of sitting over there. I got stuff everywhere right now, so excuse the mess. My wife wanted me to make sure she's happy and healthy and everything, and there's our niece's birthday present or whatever. And then she's like, "You ought to go ahead and rehome that snake." I really don't think I could rehome Cinnarope. She's just such a sweet. We got so lucky with her, having such a good temperament. And the story checked out, you know. A mom's kid went off to college, or I guess just a kid went off to college, and he was really interested in reptiles. And his brother, who was still behind, had no interest in the reptiles or snakes, and all he cared about was cars and video games. So they wanted to get rid of her, and they asked if I wanted to take her in, and I said yes. Very simple stuff. And I love her to death. She's so sweet, and she'll sit around my neck while I play video games, and she'll sit around my neck while we take the doggo for a walk, and just a really cool conversational piece. And she's such a sweet, sweet snake. And honestly, with a 5-year-old bouncing around all the time, shoving his hands in her face and everything else, she's never hissed, never puffed up, never musked, never shown any, never even shown any indication that she felt threatened, which is great because she was handled a lot when she was young. As she grew up, like I said, just the temperament on this snake is, they're a very docile breed of snake generally, and she has the best temperament of any I've ever seen. You could literally pick her up and toss her around, not that I ever would, and I'm confident she would just totally be cool with it. You can pick her up with one hand and kind of handle her kind of quick, and she's just totally chill. We got so lucky with Cinnarope that I'm making her one of the personal pets. She's way too sweet. She just, I might even, as a matter of fact, because she's so good, I might, if I can get a good temperament male at some point, maybe even like a really pretty male with I don't know, some morphs in him. Maybe at some point I'll try to breed her. Maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. But I don't think I could rehome her. She's just way too cool, way too sweet. And Sean enjoys her, and she really loves just having the attention and the affection and la-da-da-da-da. Oh, big snaky yawn. She wants to come out right now, you can tell. She's over here chilling, kind of looking at me like, well, alright, you coming to pick me? I pick her up several times a day. I didn't pick her up since she ate last night. I have a tendency, after I feed her a rat, I usually wait 24 hours before handling her, which it's been actually right about 24 hours since I got this boo-boo. So it's about that time. And she's probably over here just kind of waiting and staring at me like, what's the deal here? You haven't picked me up at all today. I just generally like to kind of let them rest and chill, and it's a good practice if you're feeding a snake to let it rest for at least 24 hours after feeding, so it doesn't get stressed, especially new snakes, and so that way it has time to digest. And if you handle it too quickly right after it eats, it might regurge or throw up the meal, and that's not a good thing. Oh, she must have itchies on her face, or maybe she's thinking about getting ready to shed sometime soon. See her rubbing up on the stick. That's something they oftentimes do when they're getting ready to start shedding. But she doesn't look like she has any shed yet. Any skin forming to shed. Anyway, I'm just talking in circles now, but she's such a cool animal. And even Wifey, who was really, really timid and scared around snakes, is starting to get to a point where she can kind of, she's held part of the snake before, and she's petting the snake, and even pet her face, and Wifey is very intimidated by snakes. So, but she's coming around. Cinnarope is showing the love, and she's such a cool snake. Anyway, I don't remember what else I was going to say. I've kind of rambled and talked in circles. I wanted to give you guys this update when my son pointed out. Oh yeah, that's right. She's waiting for me to pick her up, I'm sure. I pick her up and hold her and kind of let her sit around the neck. And she's really cool because she's like a big old cooling pad, just chilling around your neck. And then she's enjoying the warmth of your neck. Anyway, she's such a cool little snake. I had to bring our aquarium back out to the table to kind of showcase her a little bit. Oh, you going back for more drinks? Still thirsty, Snek? This whole time this video is going on, all I can do is I hear the filtration system in one of the aquariums behind me, and I can't help but wonder when you guys are watching videos like this. It's like, by the end of the video, do you guys think to yourselves, man, I gotta pee? You know? Like, you're sitting there listening the whole time, you're just hearing the running water or the dropping water. It's like a mental thing. Now, I'm willing to bet you guys are sitting there thinking to yourselves, you know what? Until you said something, I didn't really have to pee, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'll bet all you guys are thinking, I gotta pee. So, thanks for tuning in to the end of the video. For the few who are dedicated enough to watch that long of a video on showing some little updates, let me know in the comments, guys, who all stuck around long enough to realize that you gotta go pee now. Alrighty, that's an update on Cinnarope and a little story about the rats and how she ended up getting that nice little tasty bulge in her because that one rat volunteered itself. This food. And I feel bad.